What's good? It's Jordan. Today I'll be talking to you about the price of intelligence. See, in this life today, many times we fail to realize and understand that when you acquire knowledge and skills, then your mind starts to expand and you start to elevate and you start to become more intelligent. We have to understand that when acquiring new skill sets and mind frames, then we decide that we want to openly change the dynamic of our mental capacity and our processing system in our brain. We have to understand the functionalities of our mind. We have to understand the functionalities of our body. We have to understand the functionalities of our soul. And we have to understand that when we decide that we want to acquire wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and also become more intelligent, that it also comes with negative implications in that as well. We have to understand that, for one, when you become more intelligent, you may visualize things in this life that you might have never visualized before. You may be placed in scenarios and situations that you have never been placed in before. You may have situations that you might have never understood why you're placed in those situations due to becoming more aware and becoming more intelligent. We have to understand that essentially when you become more aware and intelligent, everyone isn't going to be happy about that. We have people in society that actually want you to actually not be intelligent and want you not to actually be aware. Why? Because when you are not aware or intelligent, you're easily controlled. See, we have to understand the power dynamic in society. When you're easily controlled, you're just easily controlled. You may do the bidding of the enemy, and when you do the bidding of the enemy, when you're not aware or intelligent and start to develop into those traits, you may not know that you're doing the bidding of the enemy. See, many times in this life today, we have to understand the positions of power and the dynamics of hierarchy. Many times you may look at the world as a safe place, as a place where there's no harm and nothing goes wrong, and essentially various situations may fly over your head because you're not aware of those situations. We have to understand that we have to be aware and be cautious, because when we do not develop positive traits leading towards intelligence, then we may be caught off guard. We have to understand that when you become more intelligent, then you understand the things that you're supposed to be doing and the things that you're not supposed to be doing. Many times in this life, when you were younger, you might have made mistakes. You might have done things that you're not supposed to do as a child that may have actually been negative. And those things that you might have done as a child, you become more aware as an adult and you become more intelligent to those things, and you might not do those things now when you're older because you understand the effects and the things that it has affected, might have affected yourself or other people, and you decide that you want to make that change. That is where intelligence stems from. Many times you have people who might have done negative things when they were younger, and they continuously do negative things when they're in adulthood because they do not want to make the change. They do not want to become intelligent and aware of themselves and the situations that they may put themselves in. But the good thing about it is you have the ability today to make that change if you want to make that change in your own personal life. And many times we might not focus on making that change or care to make that change because we might be stuck in the same situation that we were stuck in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and time just keeps moving forward, moving on, moving ahead. And we start to realize and understand that, hey, either what I can do today is make that change, or I could just live with the situations that I have and not care about it at all. And essentially the decision is yours, but when you understand the price of intelligence and you understand that change has to occur in order for you to actually make the moves in your own personal life to actually change your own personal life and your own personal situation. Then at the end of the day, the choice is yours. But understanding where your mentality may stem from when you make that change is important. And understanding that when you start to actually become more intelligent, you're not going to make the same mistakes that you made in the past. The decisions that you decide that you're going to make may be more accurate. The things that you decide to do with your time may be more useful. People that you decide to place yourself around may be of more value. All these things can help you develop into skill sets and habits that are good, that last with you for a lifetime. And when you develop these skill sets and habits, other generations that come after you learn and understand these habits if they want to learn and understand these habits. You can embed these habits into other generations, but essentially people make the decisions of what they want to make in their own personal lives based on what they might have saw from other people, based on who they're influenced by, and based on if they want to make a change or not. So as long as you have the information, as long as you are able to actually understand what provides you value and what helps you, then you can make that change if you want to. We have to understand that change isn't easy as well, because when you start to make that change, that means that you have to destroy the bad habits that you once had. And essentially, it isn't easy to destroy bad habits. At the end of the day, when you're destroying bad habits, you have to go through all those bad habits and actually restructure, redevelop, and reprogram your mind in a direction leaning more towards the good habits. And this isn't something that you just take one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year to do. This is constant development. And it may take your actual whole lifetime for you to understand these things. And at the end of the day, nothing is easy, but what would you rather? Leaning more towards into that direction, or just staying the same, living a mediocre life? And essentially, we have to understand that no matter how we may put it, nobody wants to live a mediocre life. People get placed in situations that they were able to get out of, but they've just lived with those situations, lived with those problems, so those situations and problems consume them. But essentially, if you ask those people, they didn't want to live that life. Everybody wants to live a productive life, no matter how much people may try to act like they don't want to. Everybody wants some sort of peace of mind, stability, and some sort of quote-unquote success throughout this lifetime. Everybody does, whether it's a young person or an older person. Anyone who says different is lying to themselves and lying to you, but everybody wants to make a change in their life, whether it be for themselves, for their family, for their friends, their associates, people who they care about and people who care about them. So we have to understand today that we have to take the road less traveled, and taking the road less traveled isn't easy, but at the end of the day, it is very much helpful. And sometimes you have to be by yourself in order for you to become more aware of these things, to become more aware of your surroundings and your environment. And we have to understand what defines us in this life today, because we can only make the change, and we have to understand that we cannot let anything negative define us if we decide that we want to stay in a negative mind frame, stay in a negative mindset. The choice is ours always. So today, I'll be leaving you with the scriptures, and I hope that these scriptures can help you in your own personal life today. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given unto him. Understand in this life today that you'll face many various situations of all kinds. But understand the price of intelligence is important. Understand that changing and redeveloping your life to the person that God wants you to be, to the person that you want to be, isn't easy. But it is very impactful if you decide that you want to make a change today. I want to thank you for watching.